If you're like me, then no one really taught you how to shave. You just kind of found a razor, slapped on some shaving cream, and went for it. Now this worked for the most part, but it came at a cost. I would get horrible ingrown hairs and bumps all over my neck. So buckle up, because today I'm teaching you how to properly shave. The tool is everything, so you have to have the right supplies. Shaving cream comes in many different forms. There's the gel, there's foam, there's soap, and a ton of different other ones. I use Pro Rezo shaving soap. It gives me a nice clean glide and doesn't hurt my skin. It also lasts for a pretty long time. If you use shaving soap, you'll need a brush to apply it. It really doesn't matter what brush you use. This is what completely saved me. I was just using the Harry's brand because I really liked the colors and the packaging, but I didn't really notice it doing much for my skin. Within a week of switching to Tend, I legitimately didn't have a single bump or ingrown hair on my neck. It was amazing. It definitely burns a little bit when you first put it on, but I'd rather it hurt a little bit and work as opposed to not hurt at all and not work. This is a little bit controversial, but I use a safety razor. These can be a little bit more intimidating because they have an exposed blade, but after about a week of using it, you start to feel more confident with it, and it's not as scary as it seems. Something that can cause a lot of cuts for people who use safety razors is when the blade itself is loose. If it's loose, it wiggles, and it's easier for your skin to get caught in the blade and cut. The solution to this is to get a safety razor that allows you to manually clamp down onto the blade. I use the Manscaped safety razor because the handle itself tightens down on a screw to make sure that the blade is nice and tight. I don't really like a whole lot of the other Manscaped products because they can feel a little bit cheap, but this one's super nicely made and it's really easy to clean. You're supposed to change the blades every few shaves, so you need to have some spare blades. Honestly, I just get whatever cheap ones the store I'm at has, and right now it's these. They come in this fun little dispenser box, so that's kind of cool. You don't really have to do this, but I like to take a hot shower before I shave. The hot water opens your pores and softens the hair, which makes shaving a little bit less painful. Shaving cream honestly is kind of fun to put on. You don't want to put too much of it on to the point where you have a literal shaving cream beard, because then you're just wasting money, but you also don't want to be stingy to the point where you don't put enough on. The cream is what allows the razor to smoothly glide, so I'd err on the side of putting too much shaving cream on rather than putting on too little. A good note is to always check the razor before you start shaving. If it's a safety razor, just make sure the blade's clean and that the handle is tightened down as much as possible to make sure that the blade isn't loose and wiggling. If it's a normal razor, just make sure it's clean and not broken so you don't hurt yourself. When I use a safety razor, I always hold it at a 45-degree angle from my skin. Any further away from my skin and it doesn't really cut my hair. Any closer to my skin and it leads to more accidental cuts. When you're shaving, you want to go with the grain to avoid ingrown hairs. That means whatever direction the hair is growing in, shave in that direction. You also don't want to apply pressure on the blade itself. The more pressure you apply, the more likely you are to cut yourself. Now, if you want a really close shave that's super close to your skin, then you can go against the grain. This will cut the hair more, but it also leads to more ingrown hairs. I usually start at my sideburns and work down to my jawline. I'll make sure I do both sides before I do anything below my jaw. Especially as you're getting closer to your neck, it can be helpful to hold your skin a little bit tighter to make sure the razor glides smoothly. Depending on how clean shaven you want to be or how much hair you have, some people put on another layer of cream and do a second or third pass at shaving. If there's any excess shaving cream on your face, just grab a warm washcloth and slowly dab it across your skin to wipe it off. I try not to slide the washcloth on my skin because doing that after shaving can irritate the skin. Now for the most important part, the aftershave. Aftershave is super simple. Whether it's a lotion or more of a liquid, you essentially just put some on your fingers and then apply it to your neck. If it's a lotion, then you'll want to apply it to your neck and slowly rub it in. If it's more of a liquid like Tend, then you'll pour it onto your hands and slowly pat it across your neck. Dirty razors can cause more accidental cuts and lead to infections, and it's also just kind of gross, so you should clean them. I take apart my safety razor to rinse off each individual part, and then I pat it dry and sit it out to dry a bit more. If you leave any of the metals wet, they can rust, and that's something you definitely don't want when you're using it to shave your skin. There you go. I taught you how to shave, so basically you can call me your dad now. Toodles.